Hi, my name's James Moneypenny and welcome to my Expedition Tops Tips presentation. So, tip 1, keep an open mind. On expedition, change is the only constant. Try not to have specific expectations that can lead to disappointment. So try and be flexible and expect the unexpected. Look after yourself, 8 hours sleep a night, wash with pits and bits in a sink, wet wipes in a tent, or pH neutral bio soap in a stream. Communicate with your team and talk to each other, especially if you're having any homesickness or problems. Document the experience, take lots of photos and keep a diary. Take time to relax and unwind, sit in a hammock, read your book, reflect on the experiences you're having. Do your research, learn about the country and its people, its history, its culture, languages, phrases, religion. It will give you much more insight to what you're seeing. Cultural sensitivities when travelling in less developed countries. Think about things such as covering up shoulders, chest and thighs, asking people before you take photos, not taking photos of people that might be in the military or police, being respectful, please and thank yous, and thinking about religious sensitivities and not saying things like Jesus Christ as an example. Okay, so we'll try and be responsible travellers by minimising our impact, things like purchasing things with minimal food packaging, purifying our water in our own water bottle as opposed to buying mountains of water bottles, leaving no trace, so picking up our litter and other people's, using bio soap when washing in streams. I'll teach you how to poo outdoors in a friendly bio way. You could look into carbon offsetting. We're producing a lot of carbon when we're traveling. Things like paying a fair price to local traders, shopping local as opposed to in big supermarkets, and sort of spreading the wealth amongst multiple traders as opposed to all in one shop. And things like educational gifts such as stationery as opposed to sweets that might have a negative health impact, especially when it comes to dental health, and enough for the community as opposed to just giving to our favourite person. Good. So some useful kit, a small notebook and pen, preferably attached so you don't lose your pen, a waterproof watch with an alarm clock, some duct tape wrapped around your water bottle, or wrapped around like a little business card or something like that. Super handy for fixing things. A good book that you can share once you're done. Look after your kit and it will look after you. Eat local. Try the local cuisine. Great part of travelling. Okay, so you'll be taking charge of some of the logistics. It's your expedition, learning life skills. Always try and do that in advance, and make confirmations and bookings as soon as you can, because you're a big team. So if you rock up at 11 p.m. at night with no accommodation pre-booked, then that could go really badly, obviously. Always know the plan for the day. So know what you're supposed to be doing, timings, addresses, places, your role, and anything that you're supposed to be doing. If you're not sure, ask and find out. Okay, a few tips on your personal security. So there's things like carrying your money in a money belt that's hidden underneath your clothes and you're not going into during the day, and having your money for the day in a little wallet that if you got mugged, you can just hand over that wallet, no big deal. I hope that makes sense. And it's things like when you're exchanging money or paying for things, not flashing the cash, not having your expensive camera out in riskier places. So that could be dark alleys, but more likely to be public buses or busy marketplaces or any tourist hotspots. Where there are tourists, there might be pickpockets. Where there are tourists, there might be the chance for muggings. There might be higher risk for having your rucksack taken if you're say turning your back on it. Yeah. So if ever I need to leave my kit anywhere, then I will ask someone to keep an eye on it if I'm going to the toilet, say for example in a bus station. Okay, so we've got things like buddy systems, so having a different buddy each day, checking in with them, making sure they're drinking lots of water and wearing sun cream, and seeing if they're ill, that sort of thing. Yeah. So if we're going off and splitting off into smaller groups, then we've got a minimum group size of 4, so that if someone gets injured, then someone can stay with them, and then someone's not going off on their own, there's another 2 people to go and get help. Yeah. Making sure we've got the whole team. Yeah. So you've got to do like head counts and numbering off. And think about ways that we can not lose kit or people. Yeah. So lost person procedures, things like having the hotel address and contact card always in your money belt, so that if you got separated from the team, then you can find your way back to our meeting place and call someone that cares. And thinking about crossing the road and not minimizing traffic accidents, because traffic can be a little bit mental in less developed countries. So we'll teach you that in country. Anyway, so quickly touching on some health and hygiene tips. Try and stay hydrated by always having your water bottle with you and little sips and often. Yeah. Purify all water that's coming into your mouth. Needs to be purified. Yeah. Anything you're drinking, unless it's say a can of Coke or something like that that's already sealed, then it's already made of purified water. Getting lots of sleep each night. Plan that in. If you know you've got to get up at 4 a.m. the next day, you're getting an early night. Food is fuel, so eat. You've got safer foods and you've got unsafer foods. Yeah, so things that are cooked at a high temperature and produced in front of you, safe. Yeah, unsafe foods are things like salads that are washed in the local water, or meats that have not been cooked properly, or food that's been left out to have the flies landing on it. Yeah, if you're ill, then tell your buddy for the day and tell me. Yeah, that way we can treat you properly so that you're not self-treating incorrectly. Little tip: put your head torch in the same place. That way you can find it when it's dark. Community engagement, there'll probably be some form of project on your expedition, so make sure you're getting in touch with the hosts way ahead of time and you're spending the funds on things that are actually useful for the project. You're bringing some old clothes ready for a bit of manual labour work if that's involved in your particular project. We've talked already about gifts of, say, stationery as an example, and toothbrushes, which are better than just giving them money, or things like sweets. Yeah. Okay, so guidebook, super useful thing. I highly recommend having a few in the group and getting to know how to use it for booking logistics. So you're going to get a role at least, and maybe more than one during the trip. So we've got things like being leader of the day. Obviously your role there is to be a team leader. It might be to do with making plans and motivating. I've got looking after your money. Yeah, so you collect your funds at the airport and split them up so all our eggs aren't in one basket, and keeping track of expenditure so that you know how much money you have compared to how much money you should have, and adjusting spending accordingly. Booking your transport so we can get to where you need to go. Security team to make sure that we're not losing people and belongings. Team medics to sort of treat simple injuries. Team navigators, to do things like sourcing maps and getting us to where we need to be. Maybe that's navigating us to a local restaurant, or maybe that's navigating us during our trek. A food team, so that might be to buy food for a particular phase, or it might be to figure out where the best restaurant is that we want to eat as a team, that sort of thing. Communications team, so you get a local in-country SIM cards, and you'll be provided with a mobile phone. So that's to sort of make calls and bookings and make sure that phone stays topped up and charged. So there'll be a couple of probably several sort of opportunities for R&R, so rest and relaxation. So it's a bit of a team to take charge of what it is that we want to do as a team and make those bookings. Yeah. So talked a little bit about like phase leaders for R&R, but we could have phase leaders for like the project phase and the trek phase, just to oversee those particular phases and be sort of a point of contact when it comes to communications and bookings, and just overseeing it in general. Yeah, so letting the team know what's involved with that phase. So a bit of an equipment team to purchase group kit and make sure we know who's carrying what kit and it's coming with us when necessary. Yeah, so it's things like, you know, we'll need the throw line if we're doing a water activity, for example. So have a little think about what role you might be interested in, and I'll give you tips, so read through those and your budgets and itineraries, and make sure you're sort of meeting as a sub-team and planning. Yeah, cool. So if you have any questions, please do get in contact with me. Those are just a few really quick top tips, trying to make this video short and interesting and just get you in the mindset for planning for your expedition.